Well, one of the things I think was that we really learned from the close games we played in. When it came to the Kent State game, we had really reviewed, the last, especially Niagara and even the Belmont game, not Belmont, but the Bucknell game, where we didn't manage the ball well and the clock well at the end of the game, and just, showed the kids what, the time and place, what was important about this possession, what was the score at this time, did we realize the urgency of this particular possession, and treating it, with that type of respect, because we were, turning the ball over just carelessly at critical times. So we showed them all of that, and I thought they really responded to that. So when we got a lead against Kent, a small lead, we could hear them talking in the huddle, okay, now this next possession is really important, and we can either, distance ourselves from them a bit, because, it's scary for us to be in a 2-point, 4-point game. It's not a big enough lead. We have to get, a bigger distance. And then we were able to do that at Kent. I think that they learned from their previous games, and that was a good step for us. The Bowling Green game, after I told them that we're just never going to, blow anybody out. This is who we are, and all of our games are going to be close, and you better manage the clock and learn how to play in close games. Then we come out, firing on all cylinders, and really, offensively, that was the obvious part. We were hitting shots, but really defensively, we went back to playing a man, which we had played a zone a couple of games, and I was just really, really pleased with what I saw defensively. We did a great job. We battled at every position. It was exciting to watch, and I think the kids had a lot of energy. So that was a sort of unexpected highlight.
You shot the ball really well, especially from three in that game. Is that kind of how you would like to have your offense work this year? Or is real? I mean, you shoot a lot of threes anyhow, but this seems like maybe more threes than usual.
Well, I would say no, but I do want the girls to read and respond to what the defense is giving us. And if I were to guess, I would say that Bowling Green had prepared for our motion offense, and they were really protecting the basket, and they were camping out. If they were guarding one of the corner kids, they were staying in the paint and not allowing us to get any cutters and any layups. And so what they were giving us was open shots. And in the past, I have said to them, nobody shoots those shots until there's 10 seconds left. Well, then once they get the shot, they're all wrapped up and can't make anything. And so we've just really said, you need to take what the defense is giving you. And they had really prepared, I think, for our motion offense. So we got out of that pretty quickly and went into, a ball screen offense. And when we did that, they were helping clearly from the weak side of the floor, and the diagonal pass was open. And we kept saying, look at the diagonal pass, and then we would make one extra pass and got some wide open looks. We also ran a lot of sets in that game, and what they were giving us was the perimeter shot. They were taking away the paint, and so I don't like to shoot the ball that much from the perimeter, but we've been zoned a lot, and when people play man on us, they pack it in, and that's what we're getting. And I think that we're establishing ourselves as a team that's pretty capable of hitting those shots. And we'll see if people begin to play us out and give us something in. I don't know, but we have to take what we're given, and I thought we did a good job of responding to that. So while I didn't feel like we could keep up that pace of hitting the threes in the second half, I didn't want to discourage them from that, because they were making the right decisions. They were making the right reads. That was what was open.
And it seems like once, Kayla hit the first shot, and then it seemed like, is this something you see where, you get, one player gets hot and then it kind of transfers over to everybody, and,
I think that game we did feed off of one another. And really that was one of the other things we've been preaching is chemistry and, playing together and, feeding each other the ball. Not, we don't have to create your own shot. Let's help each other get the ball where we want it and utilize our strengths. And I thought that this was the best game we've played. Now, it's nice when you're hitting shots. It's easy to share the ball, but I thought that this was the best we've done with finding each other and helping each other to score.
Your post play with you started Kayla Peterson again on Saturday. Is she going to get kind of the majority of the time? Will you still use 2, 3, 4, however many players it's going to take to play inside like that?
Yeah, we'll have to do that. I mean, it's going to be sort of post play by committee, and I thought Kayla gave us good minutes. I thought Sade gave us good minutes, and those two really shared the majority of them. Sierra got some minutes, so I think that is what we're looking at. At least until we get Lex back on the floor, and then the dynamic will change a bit. But Lex isn't going to be able to come out and start playing, even 20 minutes a game, not to start. So
as you look ahead, season you're getting closer to conference play. Not yet. You still got a couple more weeks to go. You head down now to, or you be heading to New Orleans before too much longer, right?
Yeah, we go to Toledo, and then we play at home against FIU, and then we go to New Orleans.
Toledo, traditionally strong team. They won the NIT, was it, back a couple years in that? How are the Rockets looking this year?
Well, they just came. They started out the season very similar to us, but they played a really difficult non-conference season. And then they went to the Arizona State tournament this past weekend and won the tournament, and played really well. And so I didn't watch their earlier games when they were struggling a bit, but they look like $1 million in this tournament. So, I'm sure that we'll have to play some really good basketball. And playing on their home court, they haven't had a lot of home games. They're very good on their home court and they have great fan support, and it's a difficult environment to play in. So they're going to be a big challenge for us.
Ashanti has been putting together some good games, also some good rebounding games, even though she isn't the tallest of your players. Talk about how she's been progressing so far this season.
Well, really excited about what she's doing. She's leading us in scoring and rebounding at this point, and as a freshman, this is her first season as a redshirt freshman, obviously, right. But she didn't practice last year. It's not like she spent the whole year, we just didn't use her. She was out on the sideline the entire year, and so what she's, I guess how she's competing this early in the season is really hopeful. It's not just that she's scoring while rebounding, but she's also very efficient. I mean, she's shooting 42% from the field and shooting 34%, 35% from the three-point line. It's just she's really playing efficiently out there on the floor, and she gives us a spark. She defensively, she's getting better. She's not taking as many chances. She creates some of her offensive opportunities from defense, but she's really learning to play in our system defensively as well.
Are you getting an idea of what she can do for you? Players kind of look how they fit in. Do you have an idea now after 6 games and a few of the games that she played last season, what you have here?
Well, I think it's interesting. We've kind of talked about other players that we've had here who've made significant impacts, and I don't know that any of them, maybe with the exception of Kaylee Klein, made as big of an impact in scoring and rebounding in their freshman season. And Kaylee, really out of necessity. We didn't have the upperclassmen, and this is sort of the scenario that Ashanti's finding herself in. It's not like she's coming in and we have 3 established scoring leaders on our team, and she's breaking through all of that. None of these kids really played. Our top kids never played last year, so the opportunity was there for her. Her athleticism, her quickness, she still has a pretty loose game as far as handling the ball and that kind of thing. But where she is right now as a freshman is, I think, really exceptional. And if you look back to some of our best players who ended their career, most recently Imani, Corey, Kirsten, before that, Shay Winton and Shawnita Garland and Kaylee
Right, yeah.
Klein. And I mean, if you look back at their freshman year stats, Shanti's blowing them all up, blowing them all away in those stats. So you think that she's going to have a really good career ahead of her. She still makes mistakes. She's a freshman, and I think about her and think, geez, wait till she's a junior, how good she's going to be and how much she'll help us and help this program. So I'm excited for her, and I'm excited for our program that she's going to develop into that type of a player.
Yeah, and because I can see a lot of like what Shalonda brought in, and that. Do you look at them as kind of the same player at this stage of Shanti's career, or not?
No, not really. If you can think back to when Shay was here, she was her freshman year. She started the majority of the year with Kaylee,
right.
Angel, Jess, Kraz, those four, and really, she pretty much knew her place. Like these kids were carrying us
Right,
through to
yeah.
a championship, and she was going to rebound the ball and put it back in if that opportunity. And she was such a hard worker. She had such a great motor on her that she easily fit with those kids because she played so darn hard. And then after that, when those kids graduated, then she progressed to being more of a significant scorer for us. But I think if you look back, you'll find that Shay scored about 6 points a game her freshman year, and probably grabbed 6 rebounds or something like that. She was just sort of playing a role at that time. I also don't see Ashanti as the same position. I would compare her more to Shawnita Garland. Now she's bigger than Sean, but she's quick like that. She's Sean was pretty raw when she came in, and I think Ashanti is too in a lot of ways. Still learning to use her athleticism and that type of thing, but. And finding an outside shot and all of that. So I would compare her more to, if we have to, compare her more
Okay.
to Sean.
All right, last question I have, Coach. You played at the Q, obviously a little different than playing here at the Wolstein Center. Your team really responded. I mean, just the shooting, and did they appreciate playing on such a big stage like that?
I don't know what it was. I mean, I wish I could tell you exactly what it was that made us play like that, because I would bottle it up and save it for every game. But perhaps that was part of it. I don't know. Or we were just ready. We were ready to really have a great game. I mean, those kind of games come along every once in a while through a season where everything's really clicking. And I can't tell you if it was the venue, but I would say this. We did talk before the game about the opportunity and how few people have an opportunity like that, kids to play in a professional arena, and we just talked about how cool that was, and to absorb all of that, take it in, because this isn't something that happens every day. And we also, I do really believe that the way they, brought that game into the jump ball, with the jumbotron and the video and the introductions and all of that stuff. That's really empowering. I mean, I think that really feels good to the kids. I think it fired them up, and so I do think that it fired me up. I mean, I had all these concerns coming into the game about, we haven't played here. This isn't our home court.
Yeah.
We haven't practiced here. I felt that Bowling Green had an advantage over us in that facility because they play there every year,
Right.
And we had just simply never played there. So I was concerned. But then right before the game started and all that, hoopla was going on, I mean, I just felt great. And then Ashanti out jumps a 6'4" center and wins the tip. And I mean, from there it was all pretty exciting. So it was really good to us, and that's positive, because the next time we play there, I hope they think it was the venue,
Right.
because then they'll go out there and that's an edge that we can take into the game.